This is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger, here with my new Empowered Moments video for the month of February 2023. Can you believe that it's February already in this new year? For this month's Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. And your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this month, is going to be coming from a brand new deck. Yes, yet another brand new deck that I just purchased, and I can't wait to use it. This will be the first time that I've used it. It's already been cleansed and blessed and infused with powerful intention and positive energies. It's called the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle Deck by Kyle Gray. I just love this deck. And like I said, I haven't even used it yet, but I, of course, looked through it so I could cleanse and clear and bless it. And the cards are just spectacular. Okay. So before we get into looking at our stones of choice, and of course we're going to talk about the numerology vibration for the month and the astrological transits of significance before we get to those card messages a little bit later, let's go ahead and start by doing an empowered moment. So if you get yourself all comfortable there where you're sitting, if you're driving, it's okay, just don't close your eyes, of course. And for the rest of you, close your eyes, relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts. Take a couple of regular deep breaths, allowing yourself to get into the space of peace and balance. And then visualizing, sensing, seeing, feeling, or just knowing that you're surrounded in unconditional love and light, compassion and healing, guidance and protection, this beautiful golden white light of God, source energy, all that is. And let's take in a couple of breaths now with the intention of breathing in that golden white light, breathing it into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, you're letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. Letting go of all thoughts of the day, the week, the month, and just being in the here and now, this present moment. Silently calling in your angels, guides, master guides, healers, teachers of the highest vibration of light. And for this month's empowered moment, we're going to focus on the full moon energy and the new moon energy that we have within this month. The full moon is going to be in the sign of Leo, the lion, the sign of strength, confidence, and courage, leadership, creative self-expression, and shining your light in the most positive and spectacular way. And of course, the shadow side of Leo, just as there is a shadow side to every sign of the zodiac, can sometimes get caught up in the ego. Sometimes it gets caught up in the idea of receiving attention and recognition and appreciation, which is fine. Those things are fine. But it's when the ego gets in the way to us expressing our unconditional love for fear of lack of receiving that attention or recognition is when it becomes the shadow. And because this is a full moon, we're releasing, letting go, and healing those aspects of the shadow. And instead focusing on that highest expression of Leo. Leo rules the heart and the heart chakra. So that highest expression of Leo is unconditional love, shining your soul's light for all the world to see, expanding into your creative self-expression, whatever that might be for you. And just being in that higher heart chakra of unconditional love and light, healing and compassion for yourself and for others and for all the world. Breathe in the intention of bringing healing to those shadow aspects and moving into your higher soul self of unconditional love. And then we have a new moon in Pisces a little bit later in the month, and new moons are about new beginnings and initiation. And Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac that rules the spiritual realm, and the sign that actually does rule unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, higher intuition and healing, dreams, artistic endeavors, creative self-expression as well. And so now with this new moon, our intention is to activate these positive qualities of Pisces, activating our connection with our higher soul self, activating our connection with our angels and guides, activating our connection with the universe, the cosmos, the all that is, all of those things that Pisces rules. And let's take a deep breath and breathe in that intention. Letting go on the exhale of all that you no longer need to carry. And one last deep, healing, cleansing, balancing breath. Anchoring in more securely the positive full moon in Leo energies and the positive aspects of the new moon in Pisces this month. And as you exhale, and when you're ready in your own time, you can open your eyes and return to this time and place. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what our stones of choice are for the month of February. Okay, so our first stone of choice is a beautiful piece of Larimar. It's so light blue, it's a sky blue, right? Some of the Larimar is a little bit darker blue, not dark like lapis or sodalite. It's all kind of this turquoisey, cloudy, sky blue sort of color, right? But this one happens to be particularly light and fluffy, is what I'm going to call it. And the Larimar helps with enlightenment. It actually enlightens and heals physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And this one activates the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, all of those upper chakras, facilitating inner wisdom, peace, and clarity. Okay? The second stone of choice. This is called Orange Aura Quartz, or better known as Tangerine Aura Quartz. I chose this one because when I think of the sign of Leo and the full moon we're going to have here in February, I think of Leo the lion, and it's got that golden, orangey kind of color to it with the lion and the lion's mane. And I always associate orange somehow with Leo the lion. So the Tangerine Aura Quartz, it helps to combine clarity, insight, and perspective with strength, with that strength of Leo the lion, right? It activates pleasure, passion, and creativity, and supports the ability to face challenge with a positive attitude. Okay? And then our last stone of choice is Angel Aura. You can see when I kind of tilt it around, it has that little bit of a reflection of, I don't even know, like even a little bit of that bluish color in this one. It's hard to see though unless you see it in the reflecting of the light. Otherwise it's got this beautiful kind of clarity to it. And the Angel Aura is a very high vibration stone, as you might guess, of purity, joy, peace, and clarity. So I think we have clarity across the board with all three of these stones, and we'll talk about why I chose that in a minute here. So high vibration of purity, joy, peace, and clarity. It helps you to think clearly and allow love to guide your decisions, right? Again, that Leo the lion, higher unconditional love. And of course, angel aura does connect with divine love, and of course, it helps us to connect with the angelic realm. All right, so again, our stones of choice are the beautiful sky blue, watery realm of Larimar. I'll put that aside here. The tangerine aura quartz, stone number 2, and stone number 3 is the angel aura quartz. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the vibration of the month of February. So first, let's back up and remind ourselves what the vibration, the universal year vibration of 2023 is. And you simply take 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3, and we get a 7. We're in a 7 universal year this year as a collective. And this is the number of inner wisdom and inner clarity, which is one of the reasons why I chose those 3 stones, that it talks about, kind of this inner focus and inner wisdom and clarity and peace. And all of those key words go with the number 7 very well. The number 7 is faith and trust. The number 7 is a very spiritual number, but it's also an emotional and mental number, meaning that we can sometimes get caught up in our ego mind with the number 7, where we're on a hamster wheel of anxiety and chaos and confusion. So we don't want to go there. We want to go instead into that spiritual peace and trust and faith and connection to our higher soul selves, which is all what the number 7 is. It's a very yin energy. It's a very internal, self-reflective, meditative kind of energy. Okay, so this is a year for the collective to go within and to connect with that higher aspect of their spiritual being. And as we as a collective individually do that, what's going to happen on the planet? It's going to make this a much better place as we all move forward. It's not going to solve all the problems this year, but if we can all connect with our spiritual essence and trust and have faith in divine timing and the divine unfolding of the plan, then we'll be in a much better place. As I said, the number 7 can also be a little emotional. So sometimes when, on that mental level, we're on that hamster wheel, and then we are kind of going through these ups and downs emotionally. Now, if we can shift that to the positive of the emotional side of the 7, it can help us deepen our sense of intuition, our clairsentience, our inner knowing. The number 7 to me is about finding that inner wisdom, or finding our inner guide within ourselves, and bringing forth a clarity from the inside out. The number 7 seeks answers within themselves. And the interesting thing is that the vibration for the month of February is going to go with that energy very well, because if we take that 7 universal year and add it to February, which is the 2nd month, we get a 9 vibration. And the number 9 is also a very yin number, or feminine number, just like the number 7. And the number 9 is the last of the single digits, right? Once we get to 9, then we get to the double digit of 10. So because the 9 is the last of the single digits, it kind of brings in this completion or closure sort of energy. We can say that there might be endings that are coming in February. And this is probably a carryover from 2022, right? We took most of January of 2023 with still this kind of residue of 2022 and trying to figure out, what direction to go in, decisions to make. Of course, we had 3 planets retrograde, so we had to kind of wait till that settled a little bit. Now the planets are all in direct motion. And we move into February, but it's a 9 vibration. So we're still having to trust and have faith and surrender and go with the flow and just allow. That's those keywords for the number 9. So it's not an action-oriented month quite yet. We're going to get into an action-oriented month more so when we move into March, which we'll talk about next month. But this month is, now it doesn't mean you can't take action, right? But this is more of, again, if you're taking some sort of action or making a decision, that you're doing the yin thing and you're surrendering and trusting, having faith, allowing, surrendering, and allowing things to unfold in their own time. Knowing that you're being led in the way that you need to be led. And trusting that you're going to end up where you need to end up. Now, the 9th major arcana in the tarot is the Hermit card. And the Hermit card is about going within oneself. The Hermit card is about seeking one's own inner light. Lighting your own way. Right? The Hermit suggests that we're kind of on a lone path, right? It's a time of spending more time with yourself, and again, seeking that inner wisdom and seeking the answers. Listening to your intuition is what the Hermit does, right? So it's kind of like, usually he's kind of in the shadows, okay? And he's holding a lantern, lighting his own way forward. He's lighting the path that's ahead of him. So he can't see too far ahead, only as far as his lantern's light is going to allow him to see. That's where the trust and faith comes in. That's where the surrender comes in. And again, listening to your own inner intuition and inner guidance, and you can say that from your angels and guides in order to move forward in the best possible way. So that's kind of the vibration of this month of February. And don't forget that the 9 kind of brings things into a sense of closure and completion on some level. So let's talk a little bit about the highlights astrologically for this month. It's interesting because this is the one month in a very long time that I've been doing these monthly videos that there wasn't an extra amount of things going on astrologically. It doesn't mean that there's nothing going on, but there's just fewer aspects that are going on. And I feel like that is so that we are able to kind of take that hermit's journey, so that we are able to go within ourselves in silence and contemplation and meditation, connecting with our own inner voice, our inner teacher, in order to move forward. So the things that stand out to me astrologically would be, of course, the full moon, which is on February 5th. February 5th, we have a full moon in Leo at 16 degrees. And again, Leo is that shining your light and being creative, showing your creative self-expression out into the world, having fun, enjoying yourselves. It's a very sunny, fiery, passionate sign. It's a fire sign, right? So it's full of inspiration and leadership and enthusiasm. And that full moon does connect with quite a few planets, but the aspect of the full moon that stands out the most is that it's in a challenging square to Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus is freedom and liberation. Uranus is change and redirection. And actually, we start out the month on the 3rd with the sun in that challenging square to Uranus. And then 2 days later on the full moon, the moon catches up and also squares Uranus. And so be ready for redirection and change. Be ready to liberate and free yourself from situations, circumstances, energies, including belief systems and perceptions that are no longer in your highest and best interest to carry. Now, on the 11th of February, we have Mercury finally moving out of Capricorn, everybody, and into the sign of Aquarius. It's been in Capricorn for an extra long time, whereas Mercury usually spends approximately 3 weeks in a sign. It's been there for much longer because it went retrograde, right? And then when it went back to direct motion, we still had to wait for it to come out of its shadow. Now it's moving into the next sign of the zodiac, February 11th, and it's only going to be in Aquarius until March 2nd. So not even a full month here in this sign of Aquarius. Mercury rules the mental realm, thoughts, ideas, perceptions, communication. Aquarius is an air sign, which also rules the mental realm. So Mercury likes being here, right? He can come up with these grand kind of, I don't want to say grand, I want to say intellectual insights, right? Aquarius is very objective and intellectual, very intelligent. And it's also a sign that rules claircognizance. So we have this kind of download of information, or we have these visions or this knowingness that kind of comes in. So pay attention during that time that Mercury's in Aquarius to new ideas, new thoughts, collaboration with other people of like mind, networking, communication and networking with people of like mind, scientific advances and breakthroughs. Again, there's a freedom, liberation, independence sort of energy that goes along with Aquarius. So also pay attention to where you might need to set your mind free. Think in a new and different and innovative way. The next thing that comes in as significant is on the 18th of February, where we have the sun moving out of Aquarius and into Pisces. Okay? So for the next month, we have the sun in Pisces from the 18th of February till the 20th of March. So that Pisces energy is the last sign of the zodiac, kind of going along with that number 9 being the last of the single digits in a time of completion. So Pisces, the energy of Pisces can bring in an energy of karmic completion of certain situations and circumstances for that time period while it's there. And then the next day, after the sun moves into Pisces, on the 19th, we have a new moon in Pisces, a new moon at 1 degree of Pisces. So we're initiating and having a new beginning with that Pisces energy, which is again a feminine sign of the zodiac, a yin energy. It's internal, self-reflective, meditative. It's not necessarily action-oriented. So initiate a new way of spiritual being within yourself. Initiate new spiritual insights. Initiate the beginning of listening to your inner voice, your psychic perceptions. Initiate healing in those areas of your life where you need healing. On the same day as the new moon, Venus moves out of Pisces and into Aries. So Venus rules partnerships, relationships, money, finances, personal resources, values, our sense of self-worth. And now she's going to be an individualistic, independent, action-oriented Aries. So where she was in Pisces for the last few weeks, she was all about unconditional love and compassion and forgiveness and the fantasy of romance and creative, art and creative expression, creative projects. Now as Venus moves into Aries, she's take charge. She's take charge, and she wants to pay attention to her wants, her needs, what she needs in relationship. She wants to maybe start to initiate or activate something new with finances, personal resources. She wants to have a healthy set of values, and she wants to have good self-worth. She wants to be confident in her sense of self-worth in Aries. And Venus is going to be in Aries from the 19th of February until the 16th of March, okay? And that's it. That's all the highlights. There's other things going on, but you'll get those in the weekly Empowered Moments video. So that's really the highlights astrologically of this month. So I forgot to show you. Let's go ahead and show you that card that connects with February here. So I forgot to show you. I said that the 9th major arcana was the Hermit. In the Syrian Starseed Tarot, it is called Reflection. So again, it is that time of going within and self-reflection, contemplation, connecting with your own inner light, your own inner teacher, right? And here's his lantern on his staff, lighting the way forward. So think about reflection too as what we're reflecting to one another, those relationships in your life. We often think about February as it is the second month of the year. Twos are about relationships. Here in the United States, I'm not sure about other countries in the world, but February we have Valentine's Day, right? So it's all about not just romantic relationships, but it's kind of expanded into our friendships and, family relationships, those one-on-one relationships. So again, we might reflect on the patterns within our relationships that we're currently in. We might see how we're reflecting back and forth those patterns within our relationships with one another. So that's part of this reflection card as well. All right, so now we can get into the messages from our angels and guides from the deck. Okay, so the first card is the Master of Orbs. Now, this is like the King of Swords, right? You can see he's very kingly, sitting on his throne. He's very calm, cool, and collected. He's got his sword, if you will, because it is a sword suit, even though in this deck it's called Orbs. He's got his sword laying across his lap, so he's not ready to fight or anything. He's just very calmly kind of observing. And there's even somewhat of an outline of a rainbow here, right? Kind of this rainbow, kind of suggesting that there's new hope in his thoughts, new hope within his perceptions, new ideas that might be coming in that can bring forth abundance and prosperity at some point. That's what the King of Swords is. And it reminds me very much of Aquarius energy. We're kind of transitioning slowly from Aquarius energy into Pisces energy this month. But the first card is, to me, a card that does rule the social realm, the intellectual realm, the mental realm with our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications. But again, this is kind of like taking charge of your own thoughts, being the master of your own thoughts and perceptions, not letting them get the best of you, right? Not letting the ego mind get the best of you, but staying grounded and calm, staying in a place of practicality, and just kind of, again, thinking about what you want for the future. Aquarius is a very future-oriented sign, so started this month out with the sun in Aquarius, and then on the 11th, Mercury's moving into Aquarius. So we're in that mode of, what do I want for the future? How can I get there? What steps do I need to take? And I feel like that's what the Master of Orbs here is doing. He's in that mode of thinking and being very, again, grounded about it. Okay? Now the second card, let's see what that is. Oh, I love it. Okay. So this is Major Arcana 5, and in this deck it's called Guidance. Now the traditional tarot card that is Major Arcana 5 is the Hierophant, which is about seeking guidance from an outside authority like a priest, a rabbi, could be a lawyer, anybody that's in a position of authority. But I like it in this deck because it's actually called Guidance. And there's no kind of, priest or a person even indicated here. This is like a statue of the Buddha. Over the Buddha, we have the Sphinx. Well, isn't it interesting that the Sphinx, oftentimes looks like the head of a lion, or kind of like it's probably like a pharaoh, right? But a pharaoh, but a very kind of lioness sort of energy to me, right? It's like a cross between person and lion. And we do have that full moon in Leo. And the Sphinx is, an Egyptian kind of symbol. Of course, the Buddha is an Eastern kind of energy as well. And it's all suggesting connecting with our inner guidance, not seeking it outside of ourselves. And that's what the Hermit is about. The Hermit doesn't seek answers or messages from outside of himself. He's on this lone path looking for answers within. And that's what this card suggests. This guidance card is seek your own inner guidance. Sure, listen to what the universe has to say. Listen to your angels and guides. Connect with those energies of a spiritual vibration. And, we've got such light and bright kind of energy here, golden yellow and the orange. It's highlighting the solar plexus chakra, your center of personal power. You have the guidance within yourself. You have the answers within yourself. Own your personal power and connect with that. Have confidence in that. That's the solar plexus. And of course, the The orange relates to the sacral chakra, which to me can be like Leo, the sign of Leo, because it's that passionate, creative energy, and the sacral chakra is that center of creative self-expression and passion and sensuality. And to me, it's like goddess energy, so connecting with the goddess, okay? So all of those energies are indicated as well. And you can see with this Buddha statue, they are in stillness, right? They have their eyes closed, they're in meditation, they're in self-reflection, they're listening, they're in stillness as they're receiving this guidance. Okay, and let's look at the last card. The last card, okay, this is another major arcana. It's major arcana 18. In this deck, it's called Luna. Of course, in the traditional tarot, it's called the moon. So this to me is indicating that that full moon, and this, right here, we got a big old full moon here, but even the new moon, that these moon cycles this month are going to be very significant. Luna often kind of increases our psychic perception and our intuition, and it can also, though, increase our emotional sensitivity and emotional reaction. So especially I want to say that full moon, because that's usually where our emotions get a little bit more triggery, right, is when the moon is full. And that full moon, like I said, is in a challenging square to Uranus, bringing maybe sudden, unexpected, knee-jerk reaction, sort of energies, like all of a sudden shocking, surprising energies can come out of you and maybe can come out of other people. So again, our emotions are definitely heightened here, but don't forget that your higher guidance and higher intuition, your ability to tap into that goddess energy of Luna is also very high and magnified here. Okay, all right. So interesting, again, these last two cards of guidance and Luna, right? Very internal, go within, listen to your inner guidance sort of cards, whereas the first card starting out with that Master of Orbs. And he's still kind of, again, silent and grounded and focused, and he's, not in a fighting stance or an active stance. This is more mental, though. And these two feel a little bit more emotional / spiritual. Now, it's interesting, I have to say, I have a special message card for the collective, actually two of them. This new deck that I got, Gateway of Light Activation Oracle, that we're going to use for the special message. When I opened it up just a bit ago so that I could clear it and bless it and whatnot, I don't believe I've ever opened a new deck and two of the cards, as I kind of went through making sure the cards weren't sticking together and whatnot, taking a brief look at them, two of the cards were reversed in the deck, in the brand new deck. I don't think I've ever gotten that. Usually all your cards are facing, the right way, right side up. And I thought, well, that's really strange. Two of these cards are in a reversed kind of energy here. Not that I need to read them reversed, but Spirit said that these were special message cards for the collective before drawing your personal special message. So we're going to look at those two cards for the collective. And the first one that was reversed, and I was told too that the first one was for the first half of the month, and that the second card that was reversed is for the second half of the month for the collective. But the first card for the first half of the month is called Akashic Records. Now look at those brilliant colors. I mean, I have a Leo moon and Libra sun, and both of those signs like colors, right? So I love this deck because it's very colorful. And Akashic Records actually says clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. Well, what an appropriate card for the first half of the month as we're moving into a 9 universal month of releasing, letting go, purging, clearing, healing. And as we have that full moon in Leo, that's going to be challenging Uranus, where there's a sudden and unexpected shift, where we're clearing again and releasing old karmic patterns, old past life, issues or energies or circumstances or situations. And again, we've got that orange and golden yellow color that's highlighted here for those two chakras of the solar plexus chakra and the sacral chakra. So Akashic Records, tapping into the book of life, your records, your soul records. Now, you can definitely try to do this in meditation. Just ask your angels and guides and the archangels if you wish. Of course, they will definitely help you to tap into your soul records so that you either know or see or hear or have a dream about or a flash of insight about, or just a knowingness about what it is that's being cleared from you right now, what you're healing right now, what you need to release and let go of right now. Okay? You could even try some writing, of course, right? The book of the Akashic Records. You could try to do some automatic writing to where it's like, what do I need to release and let go this month? And then just see what pops into your mind and write down. Just continue to write down what pops into your mind. It could be a situation, a circumstance. It could be a relationship or a pattern within a relationship. It could be a mindset, a way that you're believing or seeing or perceiving yourself or life or a situation. So see what comes out with that the first half of the month. And then the card we're going to put that back in the deck in case somebody gets it for a special message. The second card that was upside down in the deck is called Akashic Stargate. And these aren't all labeled Akashic something, but this one happened to be. Akashic Stargate. This is for the second half of February, and it says aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. And it looks like it has like several different mirrored doorways with different kind of sceneries, a rainbow, kind of the cosmos, different things here, where you could choose a particular direction, choose a particular path, choose a new road to walk down or a new window of opportunity to walk into. That's the second half of the month. That's where we get to the new moon in Pisces, right? So we're walking through a new Stargate, the Akashic Stargate. And I feel like this is particularly significant the second half of the month because as we get closer to March, just give you a little heads up here, March is going to be a 1 universal month for the collective, and ones are about new beginnings. So I feel like that second half of the month, we're definitely getting ready to go through like this portal of energy. And it could be situational, 3D, where it's actually changing where we live, changing our job or career path, changing a relationship dynamic or the relationship itself, whether we're in it or not. It could be changing something physical, but it could also just be changing our energetic makeup. Perhaps we're activating, again, some of the cellular memory of our Akashic records, our gifts, our talents, our abilities from other lifetimes. Maybe we're, activating new truth, new evolution and growth within ourselves. So this can play out in several different ways. But you're aligned with your purpose, you're at a crossroads, and there's no wrong path, so don't feel like you're going to make a mistake, right? Life is about choices. You make a choice. Later on, maybe you find out that, hey, maybe I should have made the other choice or the other decision. So you go back and make a different decision, right? And it's okay. It's all about learning. All right, so let's put that back in the deck too. And let's see what your special message is depending on your stone of choice. Okay, I'm going to give this a little shuffle since it is a new deck. Although I always do, but let's just make sure that these are mixed up really good. And the first stone of choice was Larimar. Okay. Larimar people, special message for February 2023 for the Larimar people. This one's calling my attention and they're kind of sticky, so let's see if we can get it out there. Ooh, Arcturian light codes. Arcturian light codes, Larimar people. Look at that. It even looks like the color almost of Larimar here, right? That kind of beautiful turquoisey sky blue color. I love it. It says evolutionary downloads. Ooh, evolutionary downloads. It says recalling your power. Here's that solar plexus golden yellow energy. We're recalling our power. And future thinking, which is very Aquarian, right? Got the Aquarius sun until the 18th. We've got Mercury going into Aquarius on the 11th, and it'll be in Aquarius for the rest of February for sure. So this is a very kind of opening up the crown chakra to downloads and information. Look at that. Crown chakra opening up, downloads, receiving insights, receiving epiphanies, receiving aha moments, new ideas, perceptions. Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, and future thinking. So think about your future. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to live? How do you want to project your creative self-expression out in the world? How do you want to recreate your life? This is a chance. It's like every day we wake up, there's a new chance to do something new and different, to make changes in our life. We don't have to stay stagnant, right? Make little changes, and those little changes can lead to bigger changes. But this is telling me that you're going to have some, again, very higher realm sort of information, downloads, intuitions, activations. These are definitely, they're called, well, they're not called activations, but I'm calling it an activation, okay? All right, for those of you that chose the Tangerine Aura Quartz, special message for Tangerine Aura Quartz people for February. Okay, this one's calling my attention. Chamber of the Violet Flame. Chamber of the Violet Flame. It seems that you're needing to transmute some old stuff. Transmute some old stuff, old perceptions, old situations. There's a transmutation, clearing, healing that's going on. And of course, the violet flame, I always think of Saint Germain, the Ascended Master, who uses the violet flame to transmute those lower vibrational energies, those lower vibrational emotions, thoughts, perceptions, situations. And it says karmic release, okay? Karmic release and radical transformation. So you're not just going through an ordinary transformation, you're going to go through a radical transformation. And that makes me think of Aquarius too, because Aquarius is quick, sudden, unexpected shifts of energy. So I feel like this karmic release and transformation happens suddenly for you. So call in Saint Germain, or call in or visualize the violet flame of transmutation energy around you. You could even visualize like a little campfire here. And again, here we got the golden yellow and the orange within the bottom of that campfire. But what's coming off of that is that purple energy, that violet flame energy. You can even do a visualization where instead of like walking on coals, like, you know, how sometimes people go through a ceremony, they go to the, you know, to the Mayan temples or ruins or whatever, and they're going to, you know, do a ceremony where they're walking on hot coals. Let's do a visualization to where we're immersing ourselves in the transmutation violet flame fire. And it's not going to burn you. It's just going to transmute what you no longer need to carry, what you no longer need to hold on to. Okay? I love that. And I got the cosmos in the background. Ooh. See why I love these cards? And then the angel aura. Angel aura people, special message. Special message for angel aura for February 2023. Angel aura people. Angel aura. Okay, this one's popping into my attention right now. No way. You guys, you got the Akashic Records. Card that was for the collective. Akashic Records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. Okay, so we already know what that's about for the angel aura people. What better thing to get, right? the Akashic Records, where you can call on the angels of the Angel Aura stone to help guide you to your Akashic Records. Okay, all right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I hope everybody's enjoyed this monthly Empowered Moments video. Thank you so much for your continued love and support, your wonderful comments on my videos. Sending you all lots of love and light and peace and clarity until we meet for the next week Empowered Moment video. Namaste, everyone.